Also in Lamb County, testimony for the defense resumes tomorrow morning in the second week of trial for a man who admits he robbed and killed his mother in Levelland. Jeremy Atchison pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity for the death of popular dance instructor Jill Atchison in 2019. KCBD News Channel 11's Sydney Lowther joins us now from the courthouse in Littlefield with how Jeremy's father testified today. Sydney?
That's right, Karen. This morning, the state opened with Jeremy's father, Jimmy Atchison. During his testimony, he claimed he had seen no signs of behavioral issues growing up, but they were estranged for nearly 12 years. A few years before Jill Atchison's murder, Jeremy and his father reconnected and he began giving him money. Well, Jeremy told him she was trying to kill me. The defense asked his father if he believes Jeremy knew right from wrong the night of the murder. He replied yes. During cross-examinations, the defense brought up a supposed brain tumor that Jeremy had and asked if he knew anything about it. He seemed surprised and said no. Jimmy said Jill would call him and express concern for Jeremy's alleged drug abuse. But Jimmy said he was a grown man. He couldn't force Jeremy to talk to anyone. Just a few weeks before Jill Atchison's murder, Jimmy had given his son $1,000 and offered to help him get a job. He didn't see Jimmy again until the night of Jill's murder. When his son was arrested outside of his home, officers allowed Jimmy to speak with him. He said he seemed strange. During defense's cross, Jimmy said he doesn't know why Jeremy came to his house that night. He said, "I didn't know if he was going to kill me next or what." The defense then gave their opening statement that they will begin to show evidence of Jeremy's mental illness and called up his sister, Megan Stanley. They recalled her interview with a Texas Ranger and said when she spoke to her mother, she said Jeremy had been up for 48 hours sitting on the porch, and the morning of the murder, he was sitting in his truck screaming for hours. The defense brought up the call Megan made to Levelland Police Department, stating she used words like out of his mind to describe Jeremy. During the state's cross, Megan said this behavior wasn't very unusual, and it sounded like him. The day on the phone with her mother, Jill stated she was going to confront Jeremy about his drug problems and was going to ask him to get help. She says she was only going to pay him part of the money he was expecting. The state claimed that is when Jeremy got angry and they began to fight. The defense attorney called Jimmy Atchison back to the stand to give the jury an idea of his behavior while he was in jail. Jimmy said on many phone calls, Jeremy seemed frightened and sleepless. He continued talking about hearing voices until he got frustrated at his father for not believing him. Since Atchison pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, over the next few days, the defense will try to prove that Atchison did not know right from wrong on the day he allegedly murdered his mother. If convicted of capital murder, he will spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. Karen.
Thank you, Sydney.